A question that's often asked of me is, why is there a New Testament? And it's an excellent question. I think when you begin to look at the New Testament documents as we have them today, we might ask ourselves, what was the disciples thinking about as they were listening to Jesus and then ultimately writing down the stories, the places and events that took place in his life? A scholar that has been very helpful to me is Birger Gerhardsen, who wrote a book called Memory and Manuscript. And he says this, that the early church wanted to preserve the memory of Jesus of Nazareth. We call that oral tradition. And the disciples did it in such a way that they had categories of ways of remembering. They would remember the parables of Jesus. They would remember his discourses, which are his teachings. They would remember the miracles, and so forth and so on. But also, Gerhardsen said that the disciples were also very clear about keeping notes, so to speak, or writing things down that became part of this oral tradition, plus a written tradition, which then formed the Gospels. So when I think about why there is a New Testament, it is to preserve the memory of Jesus of Nazareth, who is the central character of the New Testament, and at a time later on, it is to have written documents by which then people would be able to read and understand and be able to then reflect upon the historical Jesus decades and decades after the event.